This episode of Watch Out for Fireballs on Hitman 2016 is this month's premium episode. This will cover through the generalities. To hear the entire thing, become a patron at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Thank you. My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Kole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we are talking about Hitman, which is a stealth game developed by IO Interactive and published by Square Enix for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2016.
Yeah. And this is continuing our string here of executive produced episodes, which means a patron decided to support us and was able to pick a game. So real big thanks to Xenolalia for choosing this one.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Holy shit, this is so good. Yeah. I've been looking for an excuse to play more of this. And boy, is this in the pocket for, I think, each of us individually and the show collectively, even though the structure of this episode is going to be hard.
I don't know how hard. I was thinking about that. Yeah. I think we can make it work. This is one of my favorite games of all time.
It's so good.
Yeah, this is so for me, in a way I kind of knew. Like I'd heard about this when it came out and knew it'd be for me, and then just didn't take the plunge because sometimes new things are difficult and scary.
Yeah.
So instead, like why play something new when I could just sit there and play Isaac and just not feel until I fall asleep.
Yeah, that's why
feelings happen.
That's why I watched King of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the kind of, what I was doing. And then decided I needed something new and, or didn't decide, had this kind of hoisted upon us. And it is so extremely my shit. I turn into both the valets from Key and Peele about this entire game. Like
Tobias Reapers?
Yeah, Tobias Reapers. Yeah, who are you gonna mess with Tobias the Reapers? Yeah, it is so extremely my jam that even as like I got, I pretty much felt like I haven't done anything. I haven't moved into hardcore challenge stuff. I've just kind of been exploring with this and the second one, which I immediately bought upon completion of the first one. I was like, okay. And then I bought all of the bewildering fucking packages of DLC and stuff to make this work. To replay the first the first game's missions in number 2. I've gone through the second game twice, or at least, just not completing it, but doing each mission once and stuff. And I need to move on to other stuff and don't want to because it's really fun. And I haven't seen everything it has to offer, which is a lot.
Yeah, no, this game is a house you can live in.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. This is, can be a perpetual game, weirdly enough. And not just for the ways that the developers intended, with their like escalation missions and elusive targets and stuff. No. This can just be on itself is just such a generous playground.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. Generous playground is the watchword for me about this.
Yeah. This is just remarkable, and we'll get into the details about exactly what buttons it hits, but it's going to be hard because, much like a good dish, doesn't just have one flavor to it. There are a bunch of little trace flavors that add to the complexity. There's just so much just like little stuff that, if looked at individually, it wouldn't seem to like add that much to the scale. Collectively, this is such a complex game. And normally, like, if we say something is really complex,
we're thinking like Sins of a Solar Empire or something.
Yeah. No, this is just everything is working toward the purpose. There is a unity of purpose in this game that just speaks to the ethos of the show and puts it right in line with the things that we have loved the most here.
Yeah, it is a very elaborate clock.
Yeah.
And it's not that complicated to appreciate a clock.
Right.
You know, you can just sit there and look at a beautiful object.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes off as simple. It doesn't come off as that complicated to play. But much like a clock, there are many ways to use it. You can use it to tell time.
Yeah.
You can use it to brain your enemies. You can set it up to explode when your enemies check it.
Yeah.
You can poison the dial, so when they wind it, it gets on their fingers, contact poison.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways to appreciate a clock, just like there's lots of ways to appreciate this game.
Yeah. And all of that, like Gary just did his little bit there. This is a game that will change your... No.
I'll just be over here with my little bit.
No. I was going to add on top of it. I was going to Gary was going to be additive. I wasn't dismissing you. I was yes-anding you, which is this is a game that will change your mindset a little bit because it is a game about seeing the world in a different way. So you will by turns. I don't know. Like I've been looking for cameras. Yeah, it is.
It's like a little dark.
Yeah. And also if I leave a drink unattended for a little while, I come back to it.
Yep. Just like, is this time for bathroom?
Yeah.
So we're going to get into all those individual details because they're so like richness and generosity and detail are the watchwords.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get into that, but we should probably do first principles because weirdly enough, like this is a reboot, but it's a long running series.
Mm-hmm.
Like this character along with, this is probably like a string behind Agent 47, the protagonist of these games, is probably like in the tier after Lara Croft.
Yeah.
As far as, but pretty recognizable video game character. Who is this bald, genetically engineered hyper assassin, absolutely super competent in everything, and works for an international assassin agency.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're going to be going on missions, first for these clients and then for the agency itself as the story of intrigue, around the international movers and shakers and basically a stand-in for the Illuminati, takes over the plot. Gary, when we say a game is generous, can we camp out on that idea for just a second? Because I think that's really useful here.
For me, what is generous about this game is when I think of a game as generous, it is how many what if questions can be answered with like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like how many things you can be like, what if I did this? Or what if I tried this? Or how does this work? Or is this something there? And the answer being yes. And in pursuing those, the answer to those questions, getting more questions and more ideas.
Yeah. I have it categorized broadly as just like rewarding curiosity, right? There are so many outputs for any given input. There are very few times where the game just says, nah.
Yeah. And it's so dense.
Yeah.
With that, there's a density as well. To it and kind of a level of craft. It is also another thing too that I consider with this is optional. Like, the painted world is very generous in Dark Souls, right? Because it's a wonderful area. It's my favorite area in any Dark Souls game, and it's optional.
Right.
The developers hit it. This game is full of that stuff.
Yeah. Like
there are so many just huge swaths of area and avenues of approach that you will just not run into on your first, second, or third time through this. That you can get to. And that's kind of my definition. It's kind of weird. Like the first time I heard someone describe a game as generous, it was, I can't remember his name, but the snarky reviewer from Kotaku talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't consider that game generous. Like, I think that it was like, he was talking about over the topness. Like, it's just like, it's big.
Yeah.
But I don't think of that as generous. To me, like generous is about what it gives like the player.
Right.
And like, this just gives you, it's hard for me to separate generosity away from kind of immersive simness or, a wide open environment.
Yeah.
Like I would consider the GTA games to be generous. Rockstar games are generous.
Yes.
Bethesda games are generous as well. This is on, that same way that Warren Spector talked about doing Deus Ex where it's like a city block. That whole quote where he's like, rather than having a huge game that's like wide as a ocean but deep as a puddle, you'd want to make a game that is a city block but it's just like perfectly detailed.
Yes.
This is much closer to that than almost anything I've played. Like the only thing I can think of that matches this is the Prague, the hub world from Mankind Divided, from Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. So that is a very rare thing, that kind of level of depth and generosity in an individual point, not just kind of like a wide swath of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get into it and we'll describe that. However, we forgot to outline this is a premium episode. So if you're listening to this on the public feed, you're going to get the generalities, and there are a lot of them. Like there's going to be a lot of content here before the cut. And the kind of the descriptions of the missions and the worlds that you're going to go to, that's going to fall to our Patreon. Actually, the full version will be available at Duckfeed.tv/Patreon.
Yep. Yeah. So join us.
Please.
This should be a good one, I think. So one of the things we talked about on one of the Q&A dispatch episodes,
the first dispatch, violence.
The first dispatch on violence, is this idea of this as a murder simulator. And, the developers don't like that. I also don't like it. Like they talked about it, but like, this isn't a murder simulator. It's reductive as hell.
Yeah.
To call this a murder simulator. Like, yes, you're an assassin and that is your ultimate end goal. The path between you and that goal is so wide.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many lanes to get there. I don't know. Like it's so dismissive to call it that. Mostly because people who do call this a murder simulator tend to be doing it in a sanctimonious tone. Right? That tends to be the criticism, is just kind of like, oh, it's just that. It's, again, reductive.
Why is it that we always have to fall to violence?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, well, the reason why is because, that allows for this wide breadth of approach.
Mm-hmm.
When people talk about this being about giving somebody a high five, you can't do that remotely. There's no accidental high fives. I'm sure I've accidentally touched someone's butt. There's like an accidental butt pat. You can but you can't accidentally high five someone. You can't accidentally give someone a gift.
Yeah.
Like just having that kind of wider degree of approach makes murder like a perfect end goal for this.
Yeah.
Like if you work backwards from what your goal is, that is the action that allows for this wide a swath of paths to it.
Of so much stuff to do in order to blend in order to understand the area around you. Like I don't consider it a murder simulator, it's an area simulator.
It's an immersive sim.
Yeah.
Like very much so.
Yeah.
Like these are just really interesting, intricate places.
Yeah.
With their own rules and kind of individual stories and situations that you're walking into, that if you were going up to somebody to give them a high five, you would not have to understand on the same level, and it is only through this kind of like act, because you can make somebody, I mean, I guess if you were like, you could accidentally get ketchup on someone's shirt or something, that could happen on an accident.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it allows for approaches as direct or indirect as you want to.
Yeah.
Through understanding the area. Like that's the game, is like getting these places.
Yeah. And, there has to be, I mean, in the fiction of this, like the fact that you are there to do something nefarious, the fact that you do not belong, the resistance that you encounter in kind of different amounts and different ways and different kinds in different parts of these areas, that's what gives this texture. Like that resistance is key to this.
Yeah, you are consistently facing a low level of risk that with intermittent spikes of that risk that are really thrilling, and your job is to ride that throttle and manage that risk versus your goals.
Yeah. And this,
how much risk do you have?
Very little of this risk is like put on you, just automatically over the course of just playing this game. Like you choose to take a lot of the risks that are involved.
Oh, you choose to take almost all of it.
Yeah.
Like you just choose to opt into something that is going to maybe expose you because you need to advance your goal.
Yeah.
And the tension between those two things is where the game lies.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a version of, like the thing that is closest to this that we've done for the show is Thief Simulator, which we did for a Duckfeed Presents premium episode. Here, if you're a patron, and that's really similar.
Yeah.
To this in a lot of ways, like jankier and lower budget. This is just like their dream of that realized in a lot of ways. And adding the harm, adding the murder part of it adds to that. It's also like when people reduce it to a murder simulator, it's like that suggests a Doom-like tone.
Yeah,
to me.
I mean,
like,
that is such a
tone.
loaded term. Like that is what's his name, Jack, whatever lawyer that the Penny Arcade guys.
Sparrow.
Yeah. Yep. Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, oh, Captain, I'm here to file a complaint. Yes. Objection.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
Murder Simulator is the way that like Mortal Kombat was described on Capitol Hill, right?
And this is an immersive sim with such sublime moments of comedy. I'm sure you have that as a bullet point later.
Oh, this is incredibly funny game.
This is one of the funny, and it's in on the joke. It's not accidentally funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. They know this is funny.
Yeah.
The developers know this is funny. They are in on the joke, folks.
Yeah, they look at Agent 47 and say, what's the funniest thing we could have him dress as?
Yeah.
Where can he fit in?
Yeah, and this guy who the player is looking at this guy and you're like, this guy is super uncanny and creepy.
Mm-hmm.
No one likes him. The developers know that.
Yeah.
And make jokes about it.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently. I am like surprised by the level of the language play in this game, like the double entendres.
Yeah.
You know, like when the example that comes up a couple times, and I can't remember if it's in Hitman 1 or 2, which might be a problem this episode because I played them both really close together.
Yeah.
But there's this element where you end up alone with somebody with your target or whatever, and you're like a barber or you're a tattoo artist or whatever, and they're just like, they kind of are suspicious for a little while. They let their guard down. They're like, well, okay, well, whatever, just do what you do best. And it's just like there's like all these double entendres about the violence,
building in so much dramatic irony, like that just is written to feel unintentional.
Yes, yeah. And it's really, and your weird flat dry delivery from this voice actor is among my favorite voice performances in games, like easily, is just such a joy. There's a point that I'm cribbing from a Super Bunny Hop video about this, but he talks about how that voice acting in itself becomes this weird intrinsic reward because we'll talk about this when we talk about the structure of the game. There's nothing stopping you from walking up, popping a guy in the head, and making an escape. Right. That's actually really easy.
Yep.
You can do so. And a weird secret of this game, the gunplay is pretty fun. It's bad. It's kind of not best practices to get into a gunfight.
Right.
But I did a few missions thinking like, what if I played this like a shooter? It plays like a fun shooter. But the reason why you might want to do these opportunities and do these ridiculous disguises and end up in these situations is because you get these little nuggets of dialogue and these uncanny situations where people don't know what's going to happen to them, but you do, and you perform them as this weird, kind of, simultaneously charismatic and charisma-less void.
Yeah.
That is just very funny. Like, it's just very pleasurable to put yourself in these situations.
Yep.
And that's its own reward. Like, that incentivizes playing in a non-direct way, in addition to all the other things that incentivize that. Yeah. So like the sim aspect of this, everything kind of, it's very simmy. It plays by a set of rules.
Right.
Enemies move on. This is also very similar to Thief in some ways. Like enemies move on routines. They act in ways where you can disrupt them. Like everything has a place to be there. Yes, there are bathrooms. Everyone has a place to use the bathroom. Like these are realistically rendered environments in a non-graphical sense.
Yes.
Created
the functional spaces, let's say, and lived into like an important part of this, like different staff members at places that you're getting into. Well, they've just got a drink like that, like people would have, and as they're doing their thing, walking from the copier back to their desk, they take a sip of the water, then they go talk to their boss, then back to the copier. You watch that and you say, okay, they drink here, slip up, poison, and then boom, you got your disguise.
Yep, exactly. They're going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to follow them. There's a bathroom here because it's an office.
Yeah.
And of course there's a bathroom. It doesn't have any, like the dungeon ecology of this is just like masterclass shit. Yeah. Everything kind of makes sense. And there's kind of a surprising amount of detail. The rank and file guards or just people follow pretty basic routines. The targets will follow pretty complicated routines. Actually. So instead of having those 3 points, it might be like 7 or 8 points. And you might need to break them out of that to make them go to point 8, 9, and 10. Just by doing an action will change the routine a little bit. Yeah.
And you can manage that. Like there are objects that you can throw to make noise. Like you got coins, or you can throw for some reason there are busts of cowboys all over the place.
Yeah. You can throw cowboy busts. You can throw anything.
Yeah.
There you can drop, guards will put weapons in a safe place so no kid gets them or what have you. And you can leave a weapon in a guard's path to make them go back to a weapon locker and take them out there. There's just a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, so basically when we get to the body of this episode, we're going to be talking about the levels themselves. We're talking about the stories that happen in the levels and kind of some neat features of them. Yeah. It's not linear like a story. The game has something called opportunities, which we'll talk about as well, which kind of the closest thing this has to a story mode during the game. And that's just one way to play it. And that's some of the stuff we'll talk about. We'll talk about other things as well when we get to each level.
Yeah. If the usual kind of, outline portion of the show where we're talking about a level and what happens in it is like a water slide, this is more like a bath or a pool, right? We're just going to kind of swim in that space for a little bit, talk about our own little stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So these areas are really, we talked about how good they look and how realistic they are. This is a great modern generation as far as, reasonable clutter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't Bloodborne, just piles of tombstones for no reason. And this is not Arkham Knight. This is realistic looking spaces that have a reasonable number of people and have a reason, by reasonable, I mean, as befits the situation.
Yes. So a protest will have, tons of people.
Yeah, like 80 people just at this protest. But when you go inside an office, it's not just full of garbage. It's got, a bookshelf and a copy machine, and they look like offices.
Yeah, reasonable clutter. Yeah.
Reasonable clutter.
Yeah.
So the game, this is a stealth game as far as genre, which is, we haven't really talked about this. It's a stealth game, but as opposed to being about sneaking in shadows and waiting for movement, even though you do spend a lot of time that, a lot of the stealth involves plain sight and disguises.
Yes.
And this is revolutionary. I know this isn't new to this entry in the series. This is the first entry of the series I've played any appreciable length, and it makes me want to go back to the old ones just for the levels and just to see what a PS2 era game that has this philosophy does.
Yeah.
Because this is really cool. Unreasonably cool.
Yeah. No, I just it's a revelation, especially if you're used to other stealth games, because broadly you are managing attention in those. You'd want to make sure in a binary way that, like, oh, does the guard see me or do they not? That is the kind of attention.
Yeah.
Here, like, you're not managing attention, you're managing suspicion,
like interest.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way this works is you have a different disguise that disguises you as someone in that world. That person has permissions, so like in our real life, a waiter can walk down the street and go into a restaurant. But if a waiter tries to go behind the lines at a bank, someone's not going to like it. You have to be a teller for that. So it does that. So it's like just different areas that are carved up into different areas that are available for certain kind of classes of people in a really intricate way.
Yeah.
And then coupled with people who would know better. So when you're thinking like, oh, why does no one know that Superman is Clark Kent? Like, this game plays with that. Like, the vast majority of people, you don't pay attention to other people around you.
Right.
If I'm at a restaurant and my waiter changes, like, I'm not going to notice that.
Yeah.
Most likely. But the shift manager would.
Yep. Because they know their staff. Like, they
know their staff.
They know totally. Deborah and Alice and all those folks. Yeah.
Yeah. So the game plays with this kind of shifting and really smart sense of anonymity. It's sensible what characters they're called, I think they're called enforcers. Yeah. It's sensible which characters will be enforcers depending on what kind of outfit you have. So one of these missions, a band is staying at a hotel. If you are dressed up as any hotel staff members, one of the people at the front desk probably knows everybody, is an enforcer. If you're dressed up as somebody with the band, that guy doesn't know shit because you're just another guy with a bad t-shirt.
Yeah.
But if you go up to where the band people are, some more of them know. It's very smart and shifting kind of constantly who you have to be aware of. So it's never, even though you do have this ability to get a disguise and hide in plain sight, it's never easy. You always have to the player has to be constantly aware in a way that mirrors the character.
Yeah, you have to constantly be aware because you're constantly moving. You have to get to a place, and these levels and the scenarios and the targets are designed so that there will almost always be something inconvenient between you and them. Right.
Yes.
And like that goes down to, back to the attention thing. Like, you might think, okay, I can disguise myself as one of this person's bodyguards to get close. You might fool some of the other bodyguards. You might be able to pull rank on some of the other security staff. The target, they're going to know that you don't belong to them.
Yeah, they're going to know you're not their bodyguard. Yeah. Because, of course, they know their bodyguard.
Right.
And that might be somebody who you want to see if you can get close to them as hotel staff. Because they're not going to know the staff because they're below them.
Right.
Most of the time that those make sense. You can logic those out before you try them, which is really great. Like, if it was just trial and error, like I put on a costume and it felt like these people arbitrarily can see through it, that would feel garbagey.
Yeah.
The fact that I can sit there and be like, okay, I need to get close to this hotel manager. Who might he trust?
Right.
And usually it works. It doesn't always work. Sometimes
Mhm.
he's going to see through, but you can be like, well, he probably doesn't interact with the cooking staff as much as the cleaning staff, and
Mhm.
it usually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, this is not a game where it goes "Woo," and then everybody's coming after you. There's a real
Yeah.
gradual kind of step from anonymity
Yes.
to
Big yellow light.
you're under arrest. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a slow gradient of yellow light to this. This is probably different on professional mode, which I didn't really fuck around with. But generally, when you're playing this, like you can test somebody's limit. So okay, I'm going to disguise myself. Oh, good.
Sorry to cut you off. I think professional mode is what they call the medium mode. Did you do medium or did you do easy mode? I think master mode is the hard mode.
I just did whatever the game comes out of the box with. Yeah.
I just wanted to, in case anybody called us on it. I think professional mode is what they call the middle mode. Okay. Master mode is what you're talking about, because if you just play the easy mode, like it's significantly easier. I checked it out for one mission just to see what it's like. It does sap a lot of the tension out of it. So I wanted to not be sure, like I'm not trying to keep up on you, but I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Yeah.
But this is something that changes with the difficulty mode. But like you can check, you have like a little directional indicator that says like, okay, somebody may be over in this direction, possibly it, has a problem with you. And then you can just kind of like edge away from that because they won't immediately run after you. And even if you do, they say like, hey, wait a minute, I don't recognize you. Let me get a good look at you.
And they'll follow you.
They'll follow you.
Which you can then use, which is so cool. Very, very useful. You can also incite this by bumping into people over and over and get them to follow you. Like, hey,
crouch near them.
Yeah, crouch near them. What's your problem? And they'll follow you, and then you can get them into a place to steal their clothing. If that, as whatever the case may be. That indicator of what direction someone can see you from is so key, and the fact that it's so gradual and that it has the audio cue. Yes. So,
as the line dips upward. Yeah,
that's really, really good. And just once you know it and then can use it, that is just like that was such a good feeling the first time I used someone spotting me to achieve my goals.
Yeah, you probably should have minded your own business, huh, buddy?
Exactly. Who cares that I'm a waiter? Not you, buddy.
Well, weirdly, the one action that doesn't. So, two weird things about movement generally. Running doesn't seem to attract that much attention. That's such a smart
idea, though.
Yeah,
that's so good because I read that's new to this entry because I played the first couple of missions walking everywhere to try to fit in. Yeah, and then read online like nobody cares if you run, and I'm like, oh my god, I just saved myself so much time.
Yep. No, you can run everywhere. It's always turbo time. Yeah.
Yeah, just run. Because you run it as like a jogger. You're not Sonic. You're not Sonic 47. Just drowning Eggman in a toilet. So I love that you can just run. And it doesn't actually make that much noise. You can run up behind people and take them out, and that also feels like not like a stealth game, but feels realistic. Like if you hear someone run up behind you, you might turn around in time, but you're not going to like immediately get your gun and go to alarm.
Yeah, you're not going to radio in a threat.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to turn around, and then by then it's too late.
Yeah. And you can like if you botch like subduing somebody in a broom closet or whatever, they don't immediately threaten everybody. It's just up to, okay, do they make a bunch of noise? Do they call for help? Can you just punch them until their eyes don't open anymore? Yeah. Before they call for help. One thing that will draw suspicion is doing pull-ups. If you're hanging from a place, pull-ups are crimes in the Hitman universe.
Yeah, so in my experience, no one has like called the cops when that happens. They've been like, "Hey, get down from there. You're going to hurt yourself." Yeah, and then eventually they call a guard because you're, going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, for me, it went immediately to crime spotted.
Oh, really? I did not have a crime thing trigger for that when I was hanging from a ledge. I had people get mad at me. Yeah. Or at least get concerned. One thing that I want to talk about as well, and just it's very hard to not to contrast this with other stealth games, right? Right. And one of the things this does that I really love is there's no hive mind. Yep. So like if you're on the top floor of that hotel, you kill somebody, it takes some time for your description and word of that to get down to the bottom of the hotel. Yeah. Like people are radioing each other, but they're just like, there's a guy, I didn't really get a good look at him. they'll kind of describe you, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean every single person in the hotel instantly knows who you are. You can outrun that.
Yeah.
And that's something stealth games have always kind of fucking sucked about.
Yeah.
Where like somebody sees you and then the entire guard as a unit gets flipped over to hostile.
Yeah.
This game does not do that.
It's like the 100th monkey, but the second monkey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really great in that case. Like I really, really love that. Same thing if somebody sees you do something illegal. Like it doesn't mean that, it's time for alert. And now it's Metal Gear and I'm going to hide in a closet for 5 minutes for a meter to go down.
Right.
Like it's better than that. It models it more realistically than that in a way that is tremendously to the game's benefit.
Yeah. And it gets down to like when you take somebody out, did they see you or not?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's even modeled there. It's not like, okay, somebody's asleep naked on the floor of the freezer, and somebody walks in and says, yes, he had a barcode tattoo on the back of his neck, even though it was disguised as a side of beef at the time.
I mean, they can do that, if they saw you, but if they didn't see you, they'll wake up and be like, hey, somebody got knocked out. That's weird. We're a little bit on alert, but we're not. It'll come up as a thing called searching, but it's different than a status called compromised.
Right.
Searching means they're looking for something, but they don't automatically recognize you. Compromise means they have a beat on you, but not everyone has that on you.
Right.
Really, really good. For the most part, getting disguises involves knocking out the person who has the clothes you want to wear.
Yeah.
You can sometimes find them lying around, but mostly you're going to lure people into bathrooms and shit.
Yeah. So this is a really weird kind of just HD update of Mega Man, where you don't get the powers of the person you kill, but you do get their clothing.
You don't even get their key a lot of the time.
Right.
So you definitely don't get the power.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to manage that. Sometimes those like they're laying around. The disguises are
pretty rare.
Yeah.
But it does happen if you know where to look. And we'll talk about that kind of in probably mostly the second part, that kind of pass of trying to learn the level. This is a game that seems based on that whole idea that you can go anywhere with a clipboard. Yeah. In real life, a clipboard is a hall pass to the universe. If you're wearing a uniform and you have a clipboard, you can walk behind things.
Yeah, just kind of leaning into the anonymity of the service class.
There are weird class issues in this game. Yeah. Like you tend to be at really, really obscene rich people's events, murdering people who are who are extremely wealthy and not good people. Right. And then when it gets to the second game, when you start really dealing with this upper crust Illuminati thing, like they are not good people. Right. So there are weird, the idea of this servant who works for these people coming through and getting revenge on them certainly appeals to 2019 me. Yeah. Yeah. So these disguises, as we mentioned, they open up kind of different areas. We talked a little bit about getting seen. One thing is that hiding bodies. I love that there's not that just always works. Yeah, yeah. This game is very smart where to hand wave things. So they hand wave the running thing, and they hand wave maybe somebody will look in that freezer. Yeah. No. If it's a closet, yes, somebody will look into it someday, but during the period of time you're meant to be doing this, it's over the course of an hour of in-game time or of fiction time, at best. We're just going to say, for ease of simplicity, nobody checks that freezer. Yeah, for an hour.
That is an assumption that we can base these mechanics around.
Yep, because otherwise we have to model this thing that will feel unfair to the player because they'd have no control over it. We don't want to encourage anyone to camp out outside of this freezer to guard it or anything like that. What can we do that might not be perfectly real that advances the game state a little bit better? Yeah, yeah, and that's something that both is more fun, but also makes it feel more cinematic. Oh yeah. Yeah. And as far as I could tell, nobody woke up on their own if you knocked them out. Maybe that is something that goes away on the higher difficulty levels, but if you just choke somebody and there's no room to hide them, they'll just lay there until somebody comes up to wake them up. They will get woken up exclusively. One thing that, and this isn't a major bummer, all the bummers in this are lowercase b bummers, but people, if you leave someone out, they will be found. And I've had somebody where I had eyes on a corpse or on a body, and then it would say body discovered, and I saw that there's nobody looking at it. Yeah, yeah. That's not a sim element. That seems to be on a timer. Yeah. And I also think that does depend on where they're at. If you put somebody in an out of the way place, I imagine the timer is more generous. Yeah. Yeah. If you put them in a bathroom stall, they're not considered hidden. but it'll take a while.
Yeah.
Before someone finds them.
Yeah, probably has something to do with traffic lines.
Yeah, traffic. Yeah, that was my guess. Well, also though, in the second one they introduced tall grass.
Okay.
So Agent 47, Agent 47. That's the Pokemon version of.
Okay.
Of him saying his name,
there
I guess.
we go.
Agent 47. He's got that weird nasal voice.
Yeah.
But if you hide someone in the tall grass, it takes a long time to find them as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All this is aided a little bit by instinct mode. They've toned this down compared to Absolution, where it was like a usable resource. Here you can activate at any time. It is not finite, but it's like detective vision. It is primarily used to sense enemies and interactable objects either in the same room as you or through walls or obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is very useful. And your target will always glow red.
Yeah. From anywhere on the map.
From anywhere on the map. Well, allows you. Your instincts are so good that you can smell them from literally a mile away. This is very useful.
Yeah.
So we can't list all the ways that you can take out your target.
Nope.
In this game, the ways that are always available to you are the bluntest.
Yes. Sometimes literally.
Sometimes literally. Any sharp object will be lethal. Any blunt object will knock somebody out, or you can then snap their neck in a very satisfying sound.
Mm-hmm.
You
can either attack melee or you can throw them. Gary, I can't tell you how many times just my instinct when somebody like walked in behind me when I was doing something bad was just to immediately just throw something at their head.
Turn around, yeah, and then making sure it's not a screwdriver.
Right.
So that's very good.
Yeah. In addition to that, you do have firearms. I didn't really engage with this. I wasn't that interested in playing a shooter. Maybe I used the silent pistol to shoot something in the world every once in a while. I only fired like an assault rifle once in the game, and that was as in the Colorado mission to fit in.
Yeah.
I
did it. The actual silenced pistol I used quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Either to some of the opportunities that you do don't lead to accident kills. They just lead to you being alone.
Yeah.
With a character. So I would use it for that. It's actually a great distraction tool. If you shoot a wall next to somebody, that will it's like a more pinpointed version of the coin.
Okay.
And longer range. So you can make someone if you shoot a wall next to somebody,
mm-hmm.
You can make them turn around. Like they have a lot of times where there'll be like two bodyguards guarding an entrance.
Okay. And
you have the proper costume, but one of them's an enforcer. If from a distance you shoot the wall to the right of the enforcer, you'll have enough time to run past them.
Yeah.
While they're checking it out. So it's a really great tool. It takes out cameras. Cameras only impact your score and are only critical to the master mode.
Right.
But that's what you shoot those. So the actual pistols are very useful. This game has a huge host of just weapons
mm-hmm.
that become unlocks that I did not really use.
Yeah, lots of different kinds of submachine guns.
Yep. And they control, like I said, it controls well. Like this is a good third person shooter. Like when I fucked around with my specific mission where I was like, I'm going to do this as a gun toting nut. And there's one mission in the DLC, in the fourth mission of the Patient Zero bonus campaign that we'll talk about. I'll at least do a type 5 on that
mm-hmm.
At some point. And you're shooting a lot of people is part of that mission.
Right.
So I didn't really spend that much time with it, but just the gunplay being competent and good
mm-hmm.
is just this weird unexpected bonus.
Yeah.
More generous, more ways to approach these situations,
mm-hmm.
if you like.
Yeah. It's not punitive if you decide to engage with the whole system it gives you.
Yeah. And again, the other thing with guns is you can put them in a path to lure a guard.
Right.
To put them back. So that's they're really, really useful as tools.
Mm-hmm. You also have poison at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
You can either do an emetic, which will make somebody throw up. I wasn't aware that rat poison made somebody throw up. I thought it killed them, but
we should try it. What's the Patreon goal for us to do the Hitman 47 real life experience?
Let me call the emergency room.
This is advanced. Hey guys, it's us.
Yep. No. Or you have lethal poisons, which are a little bit rarer, like the emetics, rat poison. Like you can generally, you can find that like in kitchens or in pantries and stuff.
Places.
Yeah, like where it would make sense for them to be.
And one of the most useful items, you want to hunt that down. There's also sedative poison that shows up rarely in the world, but you can get it as an unlock.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about here in a moment with the planning phase. Sedative poison is very useful.
Yeah. There are explosives as well, like proximity mines or remote detonating mines. These are real fun to play with.
Oh
just,
yeah.
just in terms of, if you want to kill somebody off the books, if you're not following an opportunity, you're just like, oh, they walk by that place a lot. Kaboom.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also distraction devices.
Yeah.
Things like that. The best one, it takes a while to unlock. We'll talk about the unlock system here in a moment. Is the it's called like the mixtape, and it's like this little disc that plays music.
Oh yeah,
and anyone will check it out.
It's 47's mixtape, but it's all pop songs and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, very cute.
Yeah.
So the each mission starts with this pretty fun planning phase that ties into the unlock. So what this does is it allows you to change your starting costume, which is almost entirely cosmetic, but also change things like your starting location. As you gain mastery, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you get to know the place. You have a little bit more of an in, and you can get kind of installed as a temp in the cooking staff, things like that. You can also, there are stash points where you can have the agency stash items that you couldn't carry in initially.
Yeah, either large or small. So like small stashes would be places for lockpicks. Small explosives, large drop-offs would be for sniper rifles and stuff.
Yep. And you can also change your starting loadout. Your initial starting loadout is the garrote wire, your silence pistol, and some coins. You can swap out any of those things for a thing of a light class.
Yeah.
And very early on, I got rid of my garrote wire and swapped it for lockpicks.
Yeah.
Because I can always snap necks.
Yeah.
But being able to kind of kit yourself out the way you want is a big part of the appeal.
Yeah, and if you know a little bit about where you're going to be going, you can also just make sure you don't give yourself something that you need to give up, because there are different classes of items. There are items that are illegal if people see you with them. There are items that will be detected on frisk. Large weapons will be strapped to your back, which you can't just be a waiter walking around with an assault rifle 15.
You can be a waiter walking around with a briefcase with a disassembled assault rifle 15 in it, though.
I think that's in Hitman too. I think that's in Hitman too.
Oh, is that? I thought you could do it in this one as well. Yeah. But so that's a thing they introduced later. Apologies for that. If you end up playing this game and like it, you should play the second one too.
Yeah.
The levels are actually better, which is amazing, but
ridiculous. Yeah, no, it is on my Steam wish list right now.
Very good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these levels. Just kind of in general, how these work.
Yeah. And the main way that I engaged with this for my playthrough here was through opportunities, primarily because these are very big, very dense puzzle boxes of levels, and it's difficult to know where to start. And they let you kind of get over that feeling of overwhelm in a way that is, relatively new for the series, which is this opportunity system where you can get like waypoints that will point you in the direction that you probably ought to go.
You can determine how much you want this game to hold your hand.
Yes.
And the options for this are just, difficulty has been on the news, in the wind, difficulty in the wind. This is so granular, like how much you want this to help you or not.
Yeah.
You can go in and kind of change, whether it tracks them with markers, whether just the initial clue is a marker, things like that. This menu is very complicated, and it gives you a lot of granularity in how much you want to engage with this system. What's really cool about these, so opportunity, these accident kills, they're like intelligence about the situation or your targets.
Yes.
They emulate like footwork, like going around, listening into rumors, things like that around the town, and saying like, oh, okay, this guy meets with a masseuse. Well, that's a place where time when you're alone. Yeah. Maybe I can be that masseuse. And then if you have the markers on, it will guide you step by step. Like, go get the masseuse's costume, go ring the guy. But if you turn those off, then you have to do some kind of like logic work to it. Like, okay, I know he meets with a masseuse. Let's explore the building, going through costume to costume to explore it to find out where the masseuse is. Oh, here he is. How do I get this guy alone? Now I have him. What would I happen?
He's talking about how much he's craving a cigarette. Okay, well now I got to go find cigarettes. Yeah,
but I got to go find cigarettes, or I got to wait for him to go out and have a smoke. Things like that. So if you turn it down to where you just get that kind of first initial hit, and then the rest of the time have to logic it out, it becomes a little bit like an adventure game.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that big a difference between solving this and, like, getting the suntan lotion in Leisure Suit Larry or something.
Right.
These step-by-step moves.
Yeah. Even with the waypoint put on, like the person that you need to go find, or
You still have
like
to figure out how to do it.
you still, yeah, like it feels like it's easy mode, but like you're not really robbing yourself of too much because, like, yeah, getting into that room might be really tough, and it's not going to tell you exactly how to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I used a mix of these. Like the first time I went through, I walked through the levels and just listened in to stuff. And then later, when I replayed them in the Hitman 2 engine, you can start them as active from the beginning.
Nice.
They'll just take you to the first one.
Yeah.
And wanted to see the stories because this is where a lot of that incidental dialogue and such is as well. So as a game that, we didn't really talk about this just because I don't know where we'd put it, but all these levels are meant to be played over and over and over and over again. Yeah. Having one run where it's like, well, I just follow the markers and learn about the level and learn about the story, and then have a run where I try something, of my own, one run where I try to do an accident, like a non-scripted accident, because there are a lot of those little synergies and little situations that are not supported by opportunities.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense.
When you follow those opportunities, I mean, this is as pure of a hit as you're going to get of, like the non-lethal takedowns from Dishonored or the Dark Brotherhood guild missions in the Elder Scrolls games.
Yes.
Right? These can be humorous. They can be ironic. It fits with the world in a really kind of like nice and satisfying way. I like these quite a bit.
You can hoist a lot of people on their own petards. So petard fans, get ready to rumble because this is a game where you do a lot of hoisting, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
like I like ironic ends to bad people.
Yes,
in this quite a bit. The ways, as we mentioned, the way to discover these, there's a couple different ways. Exploring or having them pop on. Usually they signpost them from quite a ways away.
Yeah, that'll say like opportunity revealing would be the tooltip that you get.
And then you choose to track it or not.
Yes.
Yeah, you pop it on or not.
And they put these, like, usually if you're starting on like the default start place, one of these will be pretty close to that, like on your way into the hotel or kind of between you and the action, right?
Yeah. And these make sense diegetically. Like this is Hitman, Agent 47, knowing what to listen for.
Yes.
So the fact that these stand out and he knows when something might be important fits the fiction.
Yeah. So let's see here. This is all, of course, in addition to the emergent ways or brute force ways that you can kill enemies.
Yes.
Like that there's a way to play this game where you're a sniper and you never really get close to the person.
Sniping missions are really cool.
Yeah.
In this, like doing a sniper, like getting to where the sniper unlocks, getting your rifle, getting it to a vantage point, and then like watching is surprisingly fun.
Yeah.
There's actually like sniper bonus missions that pop up for the second one that I have no idea how to play because as soon as you start sniping people, the entire thing goes on lockdown. And I don't really know how to do it. That's what the iOS sniper game is like as well.
Yeah.
And I never really grokked it.
Yeah.
Attempted to and couldn't really quite do it, but it is very fun to snipe. Good snipe game. Also good like electrocute somebody as they walk by a malfunctioning soda machine game.
Yep.
All these kind of emergent ways to murder. And this, I'm sure you have this as a later note. But the game points to all these.
Yeah.
They're in-game challenges that are like achievements / experience point things that give you. Like the loop here is really, really good.
Yeah.
Because you finish a level, however you do it. You do just the opportunities. It gives you this huge splash screen of things that you did and things that you missed. And then let you look at all the different ideas for how you could have done it differently. And these all suggest different ways to set up those accident kills or those emergent kills, which you then get more mastery, which allows you to start in better places and start with better things and stashes, which allow you to access more of those over and over and over until you've completed everything there is to do.
Browsing those. So these are called challenges. Browsing the challenges that you haven't achieved yet. It's like looking at a Pinterest board meant for terrible people.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of them are really evocative just in like how hard they seem to be. Like I haven't been able to do the one in the first level. There's one where you push one target on top of the other one.
Oh yeah.
And kill them both. And I'm like, that's so good. Like, yeah. But I don't know when it happens. I don't know when it sets up for it.
Right.
So it's like I just haven't gotten to that yet, but I'm like, that is so clever and cool.
Two birds with one stone,
yeah, exactly. Like you said, two birds with two birds.
two birds with all of those birds' bones.
Yeah, it is a KFC special meal deal. Two birds with a lot of bird bones. Yeah. So
this is weirdly a game where I felt invested in the score that I got at the end.
Yeah. It feels really good to do well. And for me, it was granular. Like some things I cared about, some things I didn't. Like I was mostly annoyed being seen by cameras.
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes you'll just go through a door and say, well, fuck, But that will affect your score, and that's a bummer. But things like not having any conscious witnesses, that would be something I would actually aim for. I still kind of rode the 3-star line. Generally for this. Like I'm not great at this game. I just love it. Like, and the fact that it honors not only in terms of approach of what kind of way you play, but also in competency.
Yep.
is just how video games should be, period.
Yep.
I don't know, like, just like, this can be really easy. It can be really hard. You can do it really direct. You can do it really indirect. It is literally just up to you.
Yeah.
This is, you have it in the notes as the 99th percentile game for honoring player choice and expression. And it's near the top of that, like 99th percentile and just absolute masterclass. And like, play this how you own the video game. We're going to make this fun and cool to play as many ways as you possibly want.
And it's satisfying to like move up that ladder, or move from the spot where you begin to competency, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you decide that endpoint ought to be. That arc is really fun to be on, especially because early on, there's just a tremendous amount of comedy where you Mr. Magoo your way into situations, dying, being spotted, killing somebody basically by accident and saying, all right, well, that was a freebie, and then getting out of there.
Yep. It's even, that level of ways to play that even extends to that. So like, Iron Manning it through this is not only really possible, it's really fun. You kind of have to not care about your score, but just being like, I'm not going to save.
Right.
So if I get caught, it's going to mad dash to the other side of the hotel or whatever, to hide in this laundry bin for a minute, and then hopefully get a costume to change my disguise and try again. And your score, like I've gotten 0 stars on some of these things. I didn't know that was possible, but like, it's just like, oh boy, you really fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to be constantly put in that position of like, it is very fun to be caught in this game, because the yellow light is so long that like period of tension where you're not sure if you're caught lasts a really long time, or if you got caught and whether you can hide it. Somebody walks in on you stuffing a body into a freezer.
God damn it.
Can I put a letter opener in their head before they get out of here? Is it, can I turn around and execute this fast enough? And if not, maybe I definitely have had a thing where people kind of chain witnesses. And I killed like a chain 4 deep of like one person kind of bucket brigading to the next person, and eventually got rid of all of them. And then had 2 of them in the freezer and 2 of them piled next to the freezer as surplus, because you can only fit two people in the freezer. Which also, this game's educational. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know you can only put 2
I mean,
people
with a hacksaw,
Yeah, nobody puts baby in a freezer.
That's
immensely fun.
Yeah, like all of that. I just, I know you don't stream. The first time that I played this game, it was on stream a couple of years ago for a charity thing that we did. And that comedy of errors was just the entirety of the entertainment value of that. I desperately want to stream this game, Gary.
Yeah.
Like, especially now where I at least know a little bit what to do, but I am still just a complete dipshit at it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, got to Iron Man it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be, super fun to watch. Yeah. One thing that is a little disappointing, and this isn't the game's fault, but I went online hoping to find a bunch of like really like Rube Goldberg-esque interesting kills. And what instead you get is like a lot of people just murdering civilians, and just being like, what if this guy's a total psychopath?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the writing does that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to just make this guy kill people with axes for comedy. Like, what, like the game is being funny.
Yeah.
You're not adding this humor by making him do that. Like, do weird little things where you chain somebody nowhere where they should be.
Yeah.
And take care of them that way. So.
It's funny enough when you're doing what the game wants you to do. The really funny stuff is when 47 fails.
Yeah. Yep. And just again that absolutely stoic. Like he's a really funny character.
Yes.
Yep. So there's different difficulty levels, as you mentioned. There's easy mode. What easy mode does is make everyone a little bit less alert, fewer enforcers.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty gentle. Medium mode is what we played. Enemies are capable. Things like camera and witnesses impact your score, but they don't do anything else. And you can save and load with frequency. There's no quick save in this, but I did save before I tried something. Like if I thought something would work, I let it load. If I just like totally wasn't sure. And sometimes you don't have that information. Like, I don't know if this is going to be an okay area for me to walk into with this disguise. I would save.
Yeah.
I would also save a lot of times once I got my setup.
Yes.
So like getting okay, I'm in the waiter costume. I'm in this room. Time for save. And then, but you can save as much as you want in medium mode. And then on master mode, you can only save once per level. If you get seen by a camera, you have to go find the security station and wipe the tapes. And everyone is much more aware.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. There are different kinds of missions that can happen on any given map. This game uses every single part of whatever large mammal you want to use. Human. So it uses every part of the human. So I have not engaged with these. I need to play Hitman 2 so I can actually do this. The elusive targets. They seem fun, but that is part of what makes this like a live and ongoing thing. Just over the course of a week, they will say, hey, this NPC is going to be in this particular level. Go and kill them or else they're going to, go away forever. And you've got one shot at it.
Yep. And these are not, so one shot literally similar to the one shot RE2 demo, right? Like you just get what you did play these once. They do not have story missions along with them.
Right.
You just have to find this person and find a way to murder them and get out. And these end up being fun. The first one they did that was high profile was Sean Bean.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a joke about Sean Bean dying all the time in movies. They've also done like one of the Gary Busey and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was a poll. It was like, okay, which of these do you want to kill, Gary Busey or Gary Cole?
Yeah. So poor Busey. So these are cool. I haven't engaged with them that much just because I'm still chewing on the main game.
No.
It's not because these don't seem fun. I just have been doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I also haven't messed very much with escalation contracts, but I watched some. These are interesting. So the way these work is they'll give you somebody to kill and they'll be like, be in this uniform and kill this dude.
Yeah.
Like a chef has to kill this guy. And then every time you complete it, they add a task. So like kill that guy as the chef, but do it with poison. And while you're there, hack this laptop. And then, do this, and they add it until they eventually get 5 different tasks.
Yeah.
That you're doing. And it gets pretty tricky.
So you can't plan with the end in mind, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So pretty neat. Again, just a way to make this kind of perpetual as a game.
Yeah. Additionally, there are just contracts. These are user-made missions with new targets and conditions. I think there are some that IO have made as well.
I think so too.
That are just kind of thrown in there. Those can tend to be fun. They're also really hard. It's like in Paris, get this antique axe and kill somebody on the stage as they're giving a speech. Like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Mario Maker style.
Yeah.
You have to complete it. You go through the level and do the thing to make it. So I messed around with this a tiny bit, making them. And it's like Mario Maker. Like you have to complete the thing. But these would be a cool thing to watch online, I imagine, to find some of those weird kills. They are really hard.
Yes.
So this game, this kind of plays into something that is, again, a lowercase b bummer. There's so much like weird DLC and bonus missions for this game. Like what I wanted was all of the Hitman missions on my computer. Seems pretty simple, right? No.
Nope.
Like in no way, like deciding, okay, well, I got Hitman 2. Do I want the Game of the Year Hitman 1 upgrade pack or the Game of the Year Hitman Gold side grade bonanza? Like it's all this DLC microtransaction speak bullshit.
Yeah.
To try to get everything. Do I need the bonus upgrade or the upgrade bonus? It's like literally that dumb trying to just get all this stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really frustrating. Once I eventually did it and had the upgrades to import the Hitman 1 missions into Hitman 2, it wouldn't recognize them until I reinstalled. Like it said I had to buy them, and then and I was like, well, did I buy the wrong one? Like it was really goofy. Eventually I got it to work. but it is really dumb.
Ugh, no.
And it sucks because all the content is extremely good. Like, I just want this to be just Hitman as this one thing that goes up in price as it, and you always just have things you can just add to it. Like this modular thing where I get one of these levels a month for the rest of my life.
Yep.
But instead it is this victim of how it was made and marketed and the fact that it was episodic and all of these things make it pretty confusing.
Yeah.
So.
Nope. The main interface, like when you drop into the main menu, it's pretty baffling. It's like Xbox Live new experience style stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. A little bit about the development of this. So this was not initially developed by IO. Square decided, let's have Square Enix Montreal do this. They'll find they're like, no, you can't do this. You dropped the ball. Went back to the original team, which is for the better. Given what we got, that whole experience between IO having the game taken away from them and being handed back to them with all of these kind of really bad executive meddling kind of problems that led to IO breaking with Square. Fortunately, they kept the IP, and that is how that is how Hitman 2 came out.
Which feels rare,
yeah.
Right?
No, it's
that's the beginning of a story that, that's how we don't get games,
right?
Is some kind of dumbass rights thing.
Yeah, IP
when they try to make a sequel.
Being
IP
botched,
hands off, So it ended up working in this case. The way that it was came out initially as episodes was changed as well based on the publisher. So initially this was going to be sent out as 2. It's kind of a part A and a part B, like episode 1, episode 2, that contained multiple missions. Instead, it was split into 6. I talked about a Super Bunny Hop video a little bit earlier. This game underperformed in its initial thing as far as finances go.
It was confusing.
Hitman 1, yeah. And it's because it was confusing and because the marketing budget was spread over 6 games as opposed to 1 game.
Right.
Which it was meant to be. And I remember when this was coming out hearing nothing about it.
Right.
This marketing did not hit me, as something that I would be interested in. I knew about it just a little bit from Scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
But when I started really hearing about it was when the Game of the Year version of it came out.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's done. You can buy this. It's a product.
Yes. Yeah. Prior to that, I would have been in the pocket to get this month by month and play this every month or two. Because again, like I said, I would do that for the rest of my life if I could. This level of craft and care in these levels, please.
Yeah.
Put these out as long as you want. I will always buy them.
My primary exposure was by listening to Idle Thumbs because they were following along, and that's a show where they kind of make an art out of describing their own play experiences in stuff like this, like emergent stuff like this in an engaging way. And it was really fun to experience vicariously. And the sense that I got was for the people who were there month by month as these were coming out was that delay kind of really gave them time to savor these levels and kind of engage with that additional, contracts and escalations type stuff. Like they designed this to give you stuff to do while you were waiting for the next big thing.
Yeah.
Additionally, they've benefited from having time to develop the later stuff with feedback from the earlier levels in mind.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Very specifically.
Yes.
So that, that's obviously really great. It is a bummer that it impacted its success.
Right.
And the second, Hitman 2 definitely in that miracle level, not only because the IP handoff, but because Hitman 1, eventually did okay.
No.
But, and also, Jim Sterling text, right? What is considered underperforming for a video game is really skewed and horseshit.
Yep.
Video games that are really, really successful, make tons of money, are still considered underperforming because of, shareholders.
It was 10x, not 15x. Therefore, everybody's fired.
Yeah, it's really bad.
No.
So this is a victim of that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, as we mentioned, it came out episodically. There are bonus missions as well. They included again that generosity, and those are super cool. They tend to be remix levels, but these levels are so dense that they support that.
No.
Just changing the context. One of the coolest remix levels is second level of this game when you're in this fictional Spanish city. They make it so somebody's shooting essentially Iron Man. There's a big Hollywood blockbuster being shot there, and you have to kill Iron Man. And for verisimilitude, his suit is actually bulletproof. And that's a really cool mission. It looks really cool.
Nice.
They do another one there where there's a politician campaigning there and doing a youth rally. And it just changes the level so much.
Yeah.
Like the bonus missions on this, again, very generous, very, very good.
Mm-hmm. Emphasizes different parts of it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. And then so this is a long running series, as we mentioned. It's confusing. This one's called Hitman because there are other games. There's Hitman. The first one is called Hitman.
Hitman Codename 47.
Oh, Codename 47. Yeah. But this is this kind of reboot and return to what it used to be in Blood Money. Blood Money is the one that is considered kind of the precursor to this. And this game has lots of Blood Money Easter eggs that flew over my head.
Yep. Yeah. Blood Money was kind of on our, it was on our radar to do on the show for a long time. We just never got around to it. Mm-hmm. It's probably for the better that it worked out for us doing this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I might just play Blood Money.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's going to be a step backwards and stuff, but I just want to see new levels.
Same.
So
yeah.
Yep.
So this was released as season 1, but the second season didn't really happen. They just released it as Hitman 2. Like you said, miraculously they kept the IP. Hitman 2 just continues the story. Like, this ends on a cliffhanger. There's no real like resolution to what goes on, which doesn't feel bad because like the overarching plot is, you know, just kind of sci-fi political thriller stuff.
Yeah, mini stories are way more important in this than the macro story.
Right.
The actual kind of like intrigue kind of stuff that you deal, you know, once you start putting together the pieces, it is actually kind of interesting. The cutscenes in between levels are compelling and kind of good in a way, but it's not like the ratio of how much time you're spending on it. Like, I find this, you know, it's not Metal Gear.
Right.
Like, you're not spending that much time on it. It is easy to ignore. Like, I actually liked seeing all those pieces put together, you know, because the way that they structure it is you do a level and then you see a cutscene that recontextualizes what you did.
Yeah. Like, kind of puts the kill. Yeah. Puts the kill into a different kind of light. Yeah.
A different light. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
As far as actually sitting down and doing like the lore cast of piecing together all these agencies and shit, couldn't care less.
Right. Right.
You know, it just does not bother me. But you know, I'm not watching a 45-minute cutscene about soldiers finding love or whatever. It doesn't waste my time. Like, it's just here's a 2-minute clip and now we're back to the part that's fun.
We know what you're here for.
Yep, exactly. This game definitely knows what it is. And just you know, as a brief before we go into it, Hitman 2 is a triumph. If people end up liking Hitman 1, if you've held off for some reason, I've seen a lot of people kvetching about the price of this, but it's so generous that like between the two of them, I'm probably, and getting all of the bonus missions, I'm probably in like $80 for these, and I don't feel bad about spending that money. I know that's a lot of money. I don't buy a lot of new games, but I just like could sit here and like there's still so much to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still enjoying myself. I could still sit here and play these levels. Doing the Hitman 1 levels and the Hitman 2 engine is additive. The things they added are subtle, but they're good. Yeah, it is. I felt really good about spending that money because this is something that I have, you know, maybe like between all of them now, like 40 or 50 hours in, and could easily get half that again.
Yeah, no, you've done way more of this than I have. I played each mission, you know, I got to credits on this, right?
Yeah.
Over the course of like 15, 16 hours. You frostbunked me.
I did. You got frostbunked, bro. So I'm at 22 on the first one and 27 on the second one.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. So yeah, that was a good estimate for me, just being like probably 50 hours.
Probably, yeah. Pretty
accurate. It's but the other thing too that I love about that generosity of approach and allowing for any player approach is because like just getting credits is also good for this. Like, if you decided to put it down, like, you still had like a super fun experience. And then if you decide to replay it, you do all the stuff I did.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to kill all these people in different ways. It's like a totally different game. Like, the replay value, even if you played as a conventional, like, you know, 12-hour game and put it down, is still really high.
Yeah.
So I cannot get over how philosophically good this is from a design standpoint. Like, let the player approach how they want. Let the player, you know, low skill floors, super high skill ceilings. Like, speedruns of this game are really fun to watch because these people know the AI so perfectly.
Yep.
And have internalized these routines.
Just super slim margins. Yeah.
Super slim margins. Like, if I run up here and throw this coin at the wall, by the time it hits the floor, this guy will turn his head at the exact moment he needs to for me to get into the office and steal the key. Like, things like that. Just really, really wide gulf of acceptabilities.
Yeah.
Just put it in my veins.
It's a game that says yes to the player. It doesn't require the player to say yes to the game.
Yep. You do not have to bring very much to this. No. It will bring it to you. So that is again, philosophically so A+ with what I want out of video games, period.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be it for the generalities. If you're listening to this on the public feed, this is the end of the episode.
Mhm.
We really appreciate you listening. Once a month, one episode to Watch Out for Fireballs is half premium. We put out the generalities for everyone,
Mhm.
and then we put the full episode for our patrons.
Yes.
At the $5 level.
Yeah. So go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Consider backing us there. You get a lot, we believe,
Yes.
at the $5 level. It is designed to be generous.
Yes.
So you'll be able to hear kind of additional bonus shows. You get new episodes of existing shows. It's good.
Yeah. Bonfireside Chat, Unfilmable, Extra Object Sufferings. You get a lot of stuff at that level, and you get more at level 10 or $10 at level 10. We don't, we haven't gamified
no
patronage. But yeah, we really do appreciate you. And if you want to check out more, head on over there.